Welcome back to the RAINCLOUD Defense Business Briefing, our series of quick 3-minute insights from the RAINCLOUD Defense community. Today, we are joined by Andrew Turner. He's a director at SpaceEye. And Andrew, you're connecting us from where exactly?
I'm in the United Kingdom, just the west of London.
Fantastic. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you very much indeed. Delighted to be here.
Could you provide us a brief overview of your professional journey?
Yeah, of course. So I joined the Royal Air Force in 1985, straight from school. I raced through training, ended up as a combat helicopter pilot and had an amazing 15 years rushing around the world. It connected to most of the points of combat that were going on for the Gulf War I. I was in Central America, Northern Ireland, and then Bosnia, Kosovo, Albania, India, Pakistan, and then back to Iraq, and then Afghanistan again. So lots and lots of different operational and combat tours. And then in my latter time, I served for a year in the White House with President Obama. I was then the Chancellor of the Defense Technical University in the United Kingdom, then the Director General of Global Military Operations for the United Kingdom, and then latterly the Deputy Commander of the Royal Air Force, a job I finished in 2022. And in the last 3 years, I have spent my time in essentially emerging tech startup companies. So my last job in the Air Force was very much about preparing for the future in technology and people, equipment, in ways in warfare, in digitization and net zero, all these things which were becoming of significance. And so I was very deeply connected to a very wide array of very interesting companies that had novel and breakthrough technologies. But in the margins of all that, I'm a director in SpaceEye, helping Chris Newlands drive this amazing technology that he's developed to success, and an advisor director in a number of other startup companies, largely in quantum AI and space, to be honest. But yes, very exciting times.
Could you tell us more about SpaceEye solutions and technology?
So SpaceEye is simplifying access to space-derived data, Earth observation data, as the industry calls it, which is really significant. As we've seen in most of our private lives, we're biased. We have a tendency towards digital simplification, platforms that simplify things and make it easier to engage. And that's what SpaceEye has done really, really well. But the really interesting second order to that is that SpaceEye also has the global patents on fusing that real-time Earth observation data with Internet of Things data, so mobile phones, if you like, machines, cattle, and all sorts of different devices. So we think there'll be around 30 billion IoT devices by the end of the decade, and something like 10x more Earth observation satellites in the same time frame. And what this will give us, when you fuse those two data sets together, we call that the large terrestrial model. It plays on the large language model, but we think this will be a data set that's perhaps 10 or 100 times more important to the Earth. It'll tell you where everything is, always, all the time. And to a certain extent, the degree to which metadata occurs on your phone, that will also be accessible. So this means that SpaceEye has the global patent, if you like, on a global live digital twin. And when you sort of characterize it in that way, suddenly now all sorts of borders and boundaries which we have in our own minds just start to be knocked over. Suddenly it's possible to pursue and apprehend criminals without chasing them down the highways. Now, if you start to put AI, some artificial intelligence on there, perhaps even quantum enabled, because the data is so unstructured and so large, suddenly now, you can start to predict what might happen. On Tuesdays, people take their cattle out at 8 a.m. At 4 o'clock, there's traffic jams because school children are returning from school. Suddenly, you'll be able to start to predict in a lot more sentient way, how the world is working and what is driving it. And with that knowledge, companies, corporates, governments, security agencies will have a far greater handle on, what's possible and what to do about it. It'll make us more efficient, more effective, and it'll make us more powerful and connected. So it's a very exciting time.
Indeed, quite fascinating. Thanks a lot, Andrew, for your very clear explanation and your insight in space-sized technology and its potential. To continue this really fascinating conversation and learn more about space-sized solutions and technology, I invite you to connect with Andrew on RAINCLOUD Defense. And if you're not yet a member, join the 5,000 plus experts and professionals on the platform by requesting an invitation at raindefense.ai. Thanks a lot, Andrew.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much indeed. Have a great day.